and welcome back to WCCF Talks Gaming. This is a this one's not going to be numbered right now because we don't know when it's going to go live. We're actually recording this one in the middle of the night for everybody. I think I don't know. It's still dark outside.
No, I'm in England. I'm in the daytime.
Well, I am in the center of the world time. So where I am is
what
what
center of the world.
Yeah.
You're in the center of America. That is not the center of the world. I know you like to think it is.
It's CST.
And I have
Yes, center. That's what the C stands for. Center.
Yes, center of shithole time.
Either way, with all of Chris's insolence out of the way, we're here today to discuss.
Rum and Coke.
I have coffee because it's early. We're here to discuss Diablo Immortal. Remember this game?
And
this thing came out.
Microtransactions and shit like that.
Well, yeah, but Diablo Immortal's like the primary thing here because I mean, I've got a phone, don't you guys?
Of course,
I have a phone.
But do I want to play games on my phone?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, before Kai and I pile on to Chris there, I want to hear from Chris. What is what's the deal? So we heard about this 2 years ago now? Has it been that long? Like 2 years ago, and then
I think it was.
Yeah, and it got ass blasted. It was a straight up goat show, and it kind of faded from the news cycle. And then it kind of, I even asked on Twitter a while back. I was like, hey, Diablo Immortal, is that kind of a thing? I signed up for the beta. I haven't heard anything. And and then I look up on the site, and you sorry dog, you have been playing it.
No.
Yeah, you sorry dog.
Yeah, but this isn't the beta. This is the alpha, and this is because I'm special.
Yeah. I've seen what you've said about Activision and Blizzard in the past, so...
Yeah, that's usually a big surprise.
Are they trying to soften you up? Talk to us. What has happened since they've gone dark, and what do they have now? What is it? Because 2 years, man, it's a long time. And remember, a lot of people said this was just a reskin of an existing game. So dig in.
So
tell me about it. Tell me and Kai what's going on.
So from when it was first shown 2 years ago, and what little we saw between then, the game certainly improved. Back then, it did genuinely just look like a reskin of the many Diablo clones on mobile.
Yeah.
Because this has been... Yeah, I actually don't know who's developed it. This is in conjunction with NetEase. So I don't know if Blizzard's actually developed it, or if NetEase has developed it, or some random person from China's developed it, or somebody from Ethiopia. I don't know, honestly. I'm going to assume, because of the way the game plays, that Blizzard's actually had quite a bit of a hand in it, because it plays like Diablo.
Okay.
Diablo 3, but still Diablo.
Hey, I like Diablo 3.
I do too, to an extent, but I think it depends. I don't know if Diablo 2 will have... If they made a game like Diablo 2 now, would it have the same impact?
Good
I don't
point.
know.
I mean, 3, I enjoyed the story, the playing through it. The end game, I think Diablo 2's end game, once you've played through it, I think there was way more legs on it. But as far as a single pass experience, I played through several different characters, and I didn't do that in the past. But I was also I wasn't compelled to keep playing with the character once I finished the game. So
that's it. Once you've played through with a character on Diablo 3, then you don't really need to play more.
Yeah. So you want to play something different with a different character, kind of thing.
Yeah. So Diablo Immortal feels like Diablo 3 on mobile. It's certainly got the mobile trappings with it. It's free to play, or it's going to be free to play. The version I played is in the alpha, so a lot of the things that are going to be in there, what we have been told about, I haven't experienced yet. So there's going to be an auction house, a player-to-player auction house, because they want this to be a massive multiplayer game.
Yeah, those auction houses get real dicey.
Yeah, everybody remembers the Diablo 3 one, so this isn't going to be a real money auction house.
Okay, so it's just in-game money.
That's what they've said. That's what they've said, but Bobby Kotick could get his greasy mitts on it before too long.
That is very true.
So just looking at how they're going to make money first, they've got items which I'll have to explain it first. So the dungeons you can go in, you've got your storyline and things, but you've also got these rifts. I can't remember the full name, but they're rifts. And you go to a rift and you can enter a dungeon and you can get items which will let you customize certain parameters of the dungeon. And so I don't know if it's I don't know fully if these items are going to let you like increase the gold drops of a dungeon or increase item drops or give you an extra 2% chance of a rare glass of strongbow. I don't know. And you'll also have items that help you. Well, they improve your refining or your crafting of weapons, your upgrading. So I
Gotcha.
don't know if it's going to be such as pay to win, but
Do you think
it doesn't.
it sounds a lot like what Ubisoft did with like the Assassin's Creed games. What did they call them? Where they make you move quicker through the game, like they're time
Yeah,
shorteners.
Yeah.
They had
yeah,
some weird name for it that was really, you kind of looked at it like, really, guys, that's what you're gonna call it?
yeah. Essentially, so you can add random modifiers to dungeons with one, and then yeah, it's improving or it's actually optimizing when you reforge your equipment and items. And so, in reality, I suppose you can buy some good item, buy some of these items, get a bit of a boost in reforging a sword, and then sell that for extra gold on the auction house, or maybe just use it and you've got extra damage. So
Gotcha.
the interesting thing is that this is going like they want this to be an MMO, which an MMO on mobile? Do they exist? I imagine something does. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of weird ones.
Yeah.
Blade and Soul is actually going to be dropping one in a few
yeah,
weeks.
it's like so. It's going to be weird to see how it works, but actually playing the game, it really felt good. It felt like Diablo. I despise playing games on a mobile when I'm using just having to use joysticks on the screen.
So
I
what
want
about?
it to have fun. Go on.
I was gonna say, what about a controller? Because
At the
like
moment,
I've played some games on a mobile, like whenever I did like the X Cloud when I was doing testing for that and GeForce Now using my Android phone that I have. I actually found it. I found it surprisingly just competent playing with, like, I had an Xbox controller with like the little screen attached to it and just sat there on my recliner for like hours playing games. And so this game controller support? No. Yes. No. Do we know?
not at the moment. But again,
Mm.
I only played it in the alpha.
Hmm.
Will it have it in? I think they're missing out if they don't put it in.
Yeah, because I mean, Diablo 3, they put it on consoles, and from what I haven't played it on consoles. I've only played it with my mouse and keyboard, but I've heard from people who have played it, they actually like the controller controls, and they're
Yeah,
confused how you would play this game with a mouse and keyboard. And I'm like, well, I don't know how you play it with a controller, but if it was on a mobile
yeah.
version, um, do we have any idea? So like a common thing that's happening, and it's with Activision and Blizzard. I wonder if they'll do this, but a desktop emulator client. I wonder if they'll do
Mm,
anything like that. I mean, Genshin Impact does it. Call of Duty Mobile does it. You know,
okay.
where you can play it on your computer. Of
I
course, as
don't think that's in the plans.
mm,
Not that I've heard, but I'm not saying there's something,
I'm gonna
you
hold
know.
out hope that they do, because I don't know. I think to like when you're getting mob rushed in like Diablo 3, how do they handle like on-screen enemies here? Like how many have you seen come flooding at you, or is it a very tame amount to where you never feel you don't get too overwhelmed?
So I've wrote about this in the preview. So you're not going to find it like Diablo 3 where you've got about 30 different creatures on the screen at one time, all,
Okay.
swarming around you. But they've done it in a way where the impression I get is that even the lower level creatures have had that little slight uptick in difficulty. So when you're facing say you're facing 6 regular mobs, what you would face about 30 of there, it feels not equivalent, but close enough to equivalent.
So they
So it
rather
manages it
than
quite well.
rather than using the flooding the numbers of enemies effects, they've made the enemies more difficult so that each one feels like more of a threat.
Yeah,
Is it
I
okay?
would say that. So you can still run through these 6 like you would run through the 30 there, but you can. It's sort of an equivalence. And when you're just facing a boss monster, they feel like bosses on Diablo 3.
Oh.
And some of them are quite grand. In fact, you'll see some returning characters from Diablo 3, or not returning, because this is set before Diablo 3. So pre-turning? Still?
You'll see some recurring characters.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm kind of curious how that's going to affect like the overall economy. Like Diablo 3 is geared towards you facing, 30, 50 enemies at once and getting equivalent like experience and gold off of that. So are they going to like increase the amount of experience and drops you get off of like the 5 or 6 monsters, or are they going to leave the same amount and kind of encourage
Well, there is a
grinding?
level cap. At the moment, the level cap here is 45, where I think Diablo 3 was 60, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or
it's
70?
60 and
60 and then 70 with the Necromancer pack, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah,
but you've
I
got
remember it being something like 60 or 70.
But you blasted through that real quick, and then
Yeah.
you
oh
had all
yeah.
the Paragon levels and
That's
stuff.
it. That's what I was trying to think. Paragon. I almost call it prestige. And I was like, that's
You've
not
got
right.
they
That's
also
the other Activision game.
Right.
that all yeah. Paragon also returns here as well.
Okay. So you get there and you can start really tweaking up and really going.
Yes.
The story of
So
the
it's
game, is it
yeah.
it's classic. So you got your hub and then you go out into the randomly generated dungeon. Are the dungeons randomly generated here or are they kind of set?
You've got actual crafted dungeons as well.
Okay. So,
So
yeah.
you've got like a crafted story as well. So you'll visit areas that you're familiar with, and but it's not. Even then, Diablo 3 wasn't very open, but
No.
from what I've experienced, you don't seem to be able to veer as off as much, but you can still do a little exploring, and there are side quests to find mattered around. So
So
it does have that
So
Diablo
it
feel.
sounds like it feels pretty. I don't want to because I know it's an alpha. I don't want to use the word complete yet, but it feels like a
Hmm.
package.
For an alpha, I was surprised. I
Okay.
genuinely was surprised that I mean,
Did
I
did you
didn't
finish it?
hate. Oh no,
No, you didn't.
no,
Oh, no,
no.
I'm just curious. How long did you put into it? How long could you sit down and play this one comfortably on your phone?
See, because I'm playing it on a phone, it tends to mess with my eyes after too long. So I've
I'm the
I've
same way.
to
That's
be
why I
fair,
asked.
I did a hour and a half session at one point,
Okay,
and
see
I've done a few of
that's
those.
impressive for a mobile game.
Yeah,
Normally 5-10 minutes in, I'm like I'm done with this. You know, I'm like I tried playing like Genshin Impact on mobile and I can't do it. So it's just that kind of game. I now on my PlayStation, I loaded it up on the PS4 just to check it out on there, and I can
Mm,
comfortably play that for quite a while. But to hear
yeah.
somebody sitting down for an hour and a half playing on a phone with a game, that tells me it was at least compelling enough for you, who I
Yeah.
know isn't a fan of mobile games that much to sit.
Yeah,
I
if I'm playing a mobile game, I played little strategy games where I just press the screen and just go, yeah,
Yeah,
you go there.
I've got Mario, yeah, Mario Run and
Mm,
Lara Croft Go. I'm just telling you the games that I play on my phone. So Mario Run, Bendy Run. If nobody's ever played Bendy and the Ink Machine, you've missed out on a really great indie game.
okay.
Uh, so that and I've still got Genshin Impact on here and Among Us, but that's really about it on mobile. So I'm not a big mobile game player. I usually
No,
play stuff
neither
that
am
I
I.
can while I'm using the bathroom. I can just poke around on. So
Yeah, for
Yeah,
me
I
it's
think
just
for me, Diablo was more like if I'm sat down, there's something on in the background on the TV. I could have the news on in the background, or even put a film on,
Now,
which I've seen before, and I just don't have to
yeah.
focus on that.
Now, quick
So I'm
question
there.
that I
Yeah,
think would is a really good one. The cost of this game, it's still free to play that we know of.
yes, yeah,
Okay, so we know it's gonna have microtransactions.
yep.
It's got to have a way to monetize it. But do you feel like you would be able to go in and play, like, if I wanted to sit down and play the story and I wanted to see where the characters went and everything, you feel like I would be is the and then again it's alpha, so we don't know how much is being put into it yet. How they're going to steer you into,
Mm.
like, are you going to be hit with screens every 5 seconds? You get ready to hit an enemy and it's like, if you bought
No,
this pack
yeah,
you could hit them better, and it's like, I don't care, watch this ad to get 10 extra experience points for the next 30 minutes, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. From what I've experienced, no, it
Okay.
actually, and I'm worried that and same as I said in the I wrote this in the preview, and I've got to say it now. It worries me that I'm actually looking upon an Activision Blizzard game favorably. I'm thinking that it's like I have to look out the window as like hell froze over, or like
you
is
know
Bobby Kotick had a seizure? Is he just gone to sleep? I don't know.
yeah, because, like, I'm again, I mentioned Genshin Impact. I have an aversion to free to play games that
Yeah.
aren't so, like, just my history with free to play games that I've actually really enjoyed really is down to almost Dota 2, and that's about it, because I've tried free to play games and they always feel like they're hollow, and
Mm.
they just exist to drive you to the in-game store and buy currency. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Every game is trying to make money. These are not charity works. I mean, if I've spent out time and energy into something, I would want to make a return.
Yeah.
I think for me, this, from what I can see so far, this actually looks like it's doing it the right way, where it wants to make a good game, and then people will spend the money because it's a game they enjoy, which
Yeah, and
is
that's
games
kind of
like
how.
Step Pants. I did that.
Exactly. See, and that's kind of how I feel with games like Genshin Impact. And I know a lot of
Yeah.
people are going to get, "Rah," and I was like, well, I haven't gotten far enough into the game, and I'm still concerned to put a bunch of hours into it and enjoy a story, and then get to a
Just in
point.
case you get locked off.
Yeah, you get to a point where it's like, oh, you're at the last 10% of the story. If you really want to finish the game, you're either going to have to go back and grind for 80 hours, or you're going to have to buy this pack. Now, honestly, if I've enjoyed the game, say 30 hours in, and it's like a $10 fee, worth it, in my opinion. Worth it, because, I mean, I've
Yeah.
gotten hours of enjoyment out of it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm when it comes to things like microtransactions, now loot boxes, I might as well pivot into this whole thing, because
Well, I'm just wondering if Kai has any questions
oh
about Diablo first.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering.
no
This is a
questions,
big thing that
Scott.
always hits up with. Oh, well then. Um, Most free to play games I play have some sort of like energy system. Is there like an energy or stamina system in play so far?
No, not that I've. Again, no. In fact, one of the few things where you would be waiting for something, like in Diablo, you had your special moves, which you had to charge up. These are on quick re. Even the combat's just changed to make it more fast and fluid.
Interesting. What
Um,
about damage, like repairs and such? That seems like that to be where they get you. So, like, your gear gets damaged and you have to get it repaired, and it's like, oh, it's gonna take 10 hours to fix your armor, or it could take
no,
10 seconds.
like
Oh,
Diablo.
nice. Okay, I
That's
see. That's
that's
where
what
I
I mean.
figured they'd get you.
I, d- I think they're going to get you when it comes to upgrading gear. I'm I'm just being cynical, but I get the feeling that it's going to be a situation where the drops aren't that great, and you're going to
Mm,
be improving through upgrading. Again, that could be completely out there,
who
and
knows?
it also could simply be that when you're upgrading, you've got so many different. There's different aspects to the upgrades. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can I say? You've got your different aspects. You've got your attributes that it can do. You've got sockets. You've got damage. Maybe when you're upgrading, it just affects all these different ones unless you use these items that you have to buy.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like I don't know where they're going to get you, but they're going to get you somehow. They're definitely going to get you somehow because it's a mobile game.
I
I'm
think it'll
just
have to
I'm so
be
used to it.
it'll be in the dungeons, man. It'll be, hey, you can only play, so many normal mode dungeons, or if you want to add in an extra slot modifier, you have to pay for this $2 unlock or something like that. But it'll be in the dungeons themselves. They're not going to let you keep playing 8 hours a day completely free. There's going to be some sort of mitigation there.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
This dungeon won't unlock. Oh, you've done too many dungeons today.
Yep. Exactly.
That's why I'm wondering. Like, you're right, Kyle. Like, a lot of these games have like cooldown times on things other than like your character being able to do something, but like a global cooldown.
And a lot of that stems from like the Chinese market as well. I think there's actually like restrictions in place that may find their way into like the global release.
And that keeps us from dying at our computers and on the toilet.
Yep. Multi-box, man. Put one
Right.
phone down, pick up another.
You may still die on the toilet if you've eaten bad curry.
Talk about a loot box.
Oh.
Oh God.
Honestly, all this talk of microtransactions and stuff, I have a personal stance when it comes to microtransactions. They don't really bother me unless they're required, and then they suck. It's the loot boxes that drive me crazy.
Okay,
Because
I've gone on many rampages about loot boxes.
So add-ons like expansion packs, I miss those. I think that the microtransactions and the loot boxes have killed expansions. And I'm not talking horse armor expansions. Legitimate, like Isle of the like legit Isle of the Nines expansions, like where you get whole sets of stories. Now there's a catch-22 here. See, you would buy a whole expansion and you would get some armor and you'd get some in-game features and you'd get like new stories and stuff. But what if you only wanted the armor? You got to buy the whole thing, or do you want to buy the bits and pieces?
It's a weird one. I don't, because you mentioned horse armor. That's pretty much the one that started with cosmetic in DLC.
I'll never forget selling
mind that. If a game, I don't know how to say, some games do cosmetics terribly, and I'm a massive fan of Dynasty Warriors. I always have been, but as the late games have gone on, they've become absolutely fucking terrible. They sell you every costume costs something. You've got hundreds of pounds or dollars of DLC, and that's the same as so many different games, and it ends up becoming so infuriating.
Yeah, if a game can cost you $800 to $1,000 to get everything in the game, now you don't have to get everything in the game, admittedly, but if there's like a marketplace with $1,000 worth of stuff for a game that can go offline and you lose it all, that's
I'm just
crazy.
looking here at Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete on Steam. To buy the game, just to buy the game, £40. All DLC. I don't own a single piece of the DLC, but all DLC at their full price, £142.90. So that's over triple the original game.
Now, is it cosmetic stuff? Because I will forgive a lot of now Dota 2 is a free to play game.
Pattern, special weapon, special costume pack 2, old costume packs 1 to 4, powerful weapon pack. Unique weapon pack.
I've bought a lot of outfit. Like there was a time where I played Dota 2, like that was just the game that I played, and I loved it. And the characters that I played, I bought like outfits for them because I mean, come on. If you play a game like that a lot, I figured it was a way to I'm getting the game for free, and I mean I'm talking about dropping like $5 to $10. I'm not talking about like
that is to an extent. I don't mind that as much. The game's free; it has to monetize somehow.
I don't like it in full retail games.
No, and I think in full retail games they do that even in free to play games such as Fortnite, such as Dota, such as League of Legends. it is FOMO. It's fear of missing out, and there's been cases, and it's always happened where people get literally people will get bullied on schoolyards because they have a
they got
default skin.
like
default dance.
oh yeah, Fortnite is the worst about that because they'll do like you can get this skin for the next 24 hours and it's gone forever. You'll never get it again. And then like you said, everybody goes, I gotta get it, Mama, Daddy, give me the card, give me the card, give me the card. Or you don't. Loot boxes, honestly, the surprise mechanics are my biggest. Those I can forgive the microtransactions that are optional. Yeah, they're baity. They are baity.
Oh yeah, some the optional ones that are purely optional. I've got more willpower than most people, so yeah, I can just go. I don't give a fuck.
Which one was was it Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor?
Oh,
Shadow of War.
Of Mordor.
Yeah, and it was like I remember everybody raging about the loot boxes in it, and I played through that whole series, and I never purchased anything, and I never felt compelled to either.
I still think it was bad though.
Well, the second one was pretty bad because there was a power ceiling you had to hit in order to get to the real ending. And unless you did a ton of grinding, you had to open up those loot boxes and get yourself like an elite orc or whatever.
You had to use the loot box in the second one. I don't think the first one had loot boxes, did it?
No. I was very stubborn and played through the game and never purchased a loot box.
I mean that you're like me. You're stubborn. Where in this situation, I mean,
that's what I was getting to.
Games that many.
Well, that's what I was saying. Loot boxes in general, like the way they work, that is not only is that a gotcha mechanic, that's a hey guys, it's all you need to get past is right here. Maybe
loot boxes are gambling.
There is no way around that. There is no way. And if you try to look, if you try to compare,
will go to the UK Parliament to go surprise mechanics.
Well, they try to compare it to a gumball machine.
Yeah, I know.
And the difference is the gumball machine will show you every little thing in it, and you can see in there. Yep. You're just hoping that the one at the very bottom is the one that you want. Honestly, people buy stuff out of gumball machines just because it's a freaking quarter and they're on their way out of the grocery store.
It's the fact that it's a small. Yeah, and to be fair,
and they hold it.
Don't have something there at the side of it, which is stopping you from going past it, or really distracting you, saying, "But you want to come to this." Many games will do that. They draw you so quickly to
you're at the loading screen. It's like, it's like, oh, the loading screen is going to last 10 minutes, but watch this video ad and you'll get past it in 30.
Just certain games like Destiny 2 that gave you the loot boxes in game as well, but to open or was it a loot box or? You got given an item in game, and you had to go to the loot box store to open it, so you could also see where they're selling you more stuff. No, stop.
We gave you the box for free, but you got to buy the key.
Yeah. Remember Ubisoft would give you like a little bit of like Helix credits in the story, like just enough to buy like one tiny thing and have some left over.
Yeah. It's preposterous. I mean, Ubisoft are also bad when it comes to microtransactions. In fact, they're not even microtransactions. Some of them, they're macro because they cost enough. Where you've got to pay a certain amount to give you more experience. To stop the game being as grindy as fuck.
My favorite is the in-game currency. You got to buy the in-game currency to buy the loot box or to buy the stuff, but everything's like in the in-game currency is a few cents more than the smallest. So it's like you buy
Fallout 76.
It's like the thing you want, it's only 600 rubies. We'll just use rubies. 600 rubies, but you can only buy rubies in 500 packs. You can't buy 600. You got to buy.
So you've got to buy 1,000 to
I hate that.
I mean, I'm sort of bad for that anyway because I've been playing Star Trek Online recently, which went free to play a long time ago, but it's got real money currency.
Hey, if it's real money currency,
I spent quite a bit of that.
I would rather be able to buy if it's $2.50. If I want to buy $2.50 worth of something, I'd rather buy that. You know, you like if I want to buy it, like let me just buy it. That's what I like about games like Dota 2. If you want the thing in the game, it costs what it costs.
Oh no! What I mean is with Star Trek Online, you buy the in-game currency.
Oh,
money but to be fair, it doesn't bother me that.
There's no to be fair. There is no to be fair. In-game currency is the devil.
Yeah, it is the devil. The one advantage Star Trek Online is that any leftover. So, like you said, if you've got to buy 1,000 because something costs 700. So the other 300 in Star Trek, you can exchange it on a market for dilithium, which is again is something to buy. Again, you can buy some good items in the game with that.
So I will give one defense of in-game currency as a parent. This is my defense. My daughter loves Roblox for some ungodly reason, and she's always wanting Robux. I can go buy a Robux card and give her the card.
I think he's saying roadblocks.
Robux.
I know what it is.
Oh, Roblox. Yeah. She loves the game. I'll play with her sometimes on it, but it's just it. You as a parent, you can buy the in-game currency card, and you can give your kid the card, and they never have. So there, that's the only in defense. Yeah. Kai, what about yourself? What about yourself as we wrap things up today?
Genshin Impact.
That's all I gotta say. I was going to say as well. I've been playing Destruction All Stars, the first original PlayStation. In fact, the first original next gen exclusive. Because it's only out
free to play, right?
Sorry.
And it happens to be free to play with no egregious microtransactions or anything, right?
Weirdly enough, yeah. It's okay. This does it in a way that I mean, I've just wrote a review on it, and there is a currency which you have to buy for real money, and there is an in-game currency, and it's all for cosmetics. It's a free-to-play game. Originally, it was going to launch as a premium full-price title when the console launched, but I'm glad they didn't do that because it would not have been worth the full price. And I want to say there's about 5 million little pieces of cosmetic stuff in the game. Maybe 6 million, I'm not sure, but I'm fairly sure it's in the fucking millions.
Wow.
And you can, well, obviously I'm exaggerating, but there's a fucking lot. There's definitely over 4,000 pieces of bloody cosmetic.
Yeah, like when I was playing Rocket Arena, there were a lot of like individual cosmetic things, like your little vapor trail or your character skins or whatever. A lot of them were just different colors of the same skin, and somehow they were like adding in dozens more items that way.
I mean, you've got that here, and a lot of those are what you just buy with the currency you gain as you level up, or just do daily rewards or whatever. There doesn't. I would probably say only about 10% from what I've seen. You actually need to use the real money currency, special premium currency. We'll call it premium currency.
There you go. There you go.
Buy with real money. But yeah, so yeah, Destruction All Stars. It's a game. It's a game.
Well, cool deal. So is that it? That's all we got for today, huh? That's just where we're at.
I also want to moan about Ubisoft when they make you buy a DLC. When you have to pay to make the experience level proper, so you gain actual experience instead of half fucking experience from a kill. And that nobody can ever say they need to do that because they intentionally scale back the experience gained just so they can sell that.
Oh, absolutely! Like I remember that there was that Dungeon Keeper game where they had all the focus groups figure out, hey, this is how long I want to wait for my build timers to go. The developers saw this and they doubled that just to incentivize people to get frustrated and spend money just to speed things up.
Oh, that's what the Ubisoft call it, time saver mechanics.
Yeah, time saver.
You can purchase time saver.
Well, I've got an idea, Ubisoft. How about making a game that isn't shit?
You mean Phoenix Rising?
You see what happened? Nobody bought it. They made a really good game and nobody bought it. That's why they keep making crap, because people keep buying the crap, and then when they make a new IP with...
Yeah, but to be fair, they released Phoenix Rising at like the complete wrong time, surrounded by every other game ever made.
I agree.
Yeah, surrounded by their own open world RPG.
I agree. They
released it at the side of their own big, massive named open world RPG. Not much before Cyberpunk, and
I think they were betting on Cyberpunk flopping and then people being pissed off and looking for a game to play. I mean, they got part of that right, but they didn't buy Phoenix Rising.
Well, they wouldn't, because they just buy the other million games.
Is Phoenix Rising on sale yet? I was hoping that it'd go on sale and I could buy it because
I'm going to.
Actually, yeah, it's been on sale a couple times.
Where should I play it?
I may have to
Xbox, PS4, PC. Which one should I play it on?
PC. Come on, PC.
Okay. All right.
No, well, guys, I actually want to play it, but it's just a case of, they just released it at the wrong time. They did what EA did with Titanfall 2. They released it.
That was the game I was trying to think. There was another. Yeah, that game was brilliant. If nobody's played that, if anybody's listening and hasn't played that game, go play it now. It won't take you but a few hours to finish the campaign, but it was one of the best shooters of its generation. In my opinion.
It's like $5 now.
Yeah, and it's worth. Yeah, it's $5. It's like super cheap, and it's worth every penny and then some. In fact, if you're thinking about buying
the original price,
it was 100%. Absolutely loved it. Beautiful, wonderful game.
How the hell EA could do? I mean, EA.
Bad launch cycle, like bad timing.
I honestly think EA did that just so they could wreck Respawn and buy them.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, guys, I think that's all we got for today, huh? Anything else on our way out?
I can't think of anything.
Kai, any last words?
Nothing for me this time.
Awesome, guys. Well, look, everybody, appreciate you tuning in. If you stayed this long, like, subscribe, you know what to do. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.